everybody, it's the T-Rock 100, and welcome back to more Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And my voice cracked there. I'm practically present. Last time, we made our way to the lighthouse, and we encountered a strange Pokemon along the way that I'm pretty sure that's biomechanical. We also met up with a guy named Arvin, and we didn't exactly get off on the right foot. But don't worry, I'm sure he'll change over time. This time, we're going to explore the rest of this location, because why not? So shut up. I just gotta make sure if I actually took care of this. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, cool. So, from before, I actually realized that... Oh. You saw nothing. I realized that... We never had talked about the Pokemon that we could talk about from this section of La Plateau in the South Province of Area 1. So, with me talking about this, it's going to be a little bit tricky. It's mostly because that the Pokemon that we find are not going to be fully acquired at this point, but there will come a time from when we will be able to get those Pokemon at a later time. But I'll be talking about those at a future area. So, around here, we have 4 new Pokemon that we can find. And I'm actually kind of looking forward to talking about these 4. All except for one group. And that, first up is going to be Shroodle, our first poison type. That's also a part normal type, if you say so. Believe it or not, this is actually one of the more interesting physical sweepers of the poison types. In fact, I almost want to call this something similar to that of the Zubat line, except for it plays flying type with normal types. If you truly want one of these Pokemon, I'd recommend that you keep this as one. I think it's with Pickpocket, I think it is. Because trust me, it might come in handy for you to become. Because by the time when it evolves at level 28 into Graphite, at least I hope that's how it's pronounced because it kind of sounds like graffiti, Pickpocket will become Poison Touch. I hope that one is correct, but if I'm not right, then you'll just see it on the bios from right there. And yet, curiously, this thing has probably one of the most interesting signature moves for when it evolves at level 28 into Graphite. And that is Doodle. The user captures the very essence of the target in a sketch. This changes the abilities of the user and its ally to the Pokemon to that of the target. So in other words, you're copying your ability for both yourself and for your ally. Not exactly the best choice of moves, especially if you're playing for a single player. But in double battles, it's okay for what it is, but we won't be seeing that for quite some time. But on some brighter notes, some pretty good moves in it that it can learn through leveling up that complements it well for being a good physical sweeper. Really can't say no to that, but quite honestly, if you really want a Pokemon that's good for being a good physical sweeper, this is a good choice to have, but I would recommend ditching it for something a little bit better later on down the road. Trust me, you'll have access to some other good poison types and even some good normal types later on. Next up, Fidough. Our first, well, I guess technically second fairy type if you want to count Ralts in this, but this is our first fairy type Pokemon that we're talking about. Going for a bit of a bulky approach rather than it being more of a special offensive user, which is kind of strange when you think about it. But this thing, I wish this thing had pickup for the ability. Why does this thing not have pickup for the ability? It would work so good. But I digress. When it evolves into Dashbun at level 26, it becomes actually more of your classical fairy type. It's on the bulkier side of all things, which is strange in on itself, but I actually kind of recommend this Pokemon for a good few reasons. Why? Because it has a signature ability once it evolves into Dashbun with from that from own tempo to well-baked body. This pretty much gives it a fire immunity, but boosts its defensive stat by, I think, by 3 levels? I guess if you really want to make this thing into a more annoying defensive wall, unlike our most superior types, Dashbun is a good choice to have. And of course, can't say no to play rough, can't say no to dig, because, well, it's a canine. I think it's kind of required for canine Pokemon to have dig, right? Oh, and make sure this thing does not have Klutz for the ability, because can't hold any items, but Aroma Veil, okay for double battles, really. Next up is a Paldean Wooper. Can I just say, this kind of looks a little racist. Okay, fine, no, not really. Okay, but in all seriousness, going from a water ground type into being a poison ground type is kind of an interesting choice. It's not bad, it's just strange. But I actually have a little bit of a soft spot for this little guy with no arms. If you really want a very good Pokemon that has good use in the ways of being both a poison and a ground type, this is a good choice. You essentially have 2 options to go for. First option is, do you want to have it with the use of it being the risk of causing Pokemon to get poisoned from being touched by it? Or do you want it to pretty much have a water immunity? Quite honestly, I think you can probably be better off with Water Absorb, in my personal opinion, for both single players and double battles. And maybe a little bit more Poison Touch in double battles. When it evolves into Clodsire, not Paldean Quagsire, because that just rolls off the tongue in the worst ways. This thing actually becomes a very good hard-hitting poison ground type. It's bulky, just like it's a water-drunked-up quagmire of a cousin. But this thing actually has some very good choices if you really wanted to have some fun with it and on itself. The only real big gripe in it that I have to say is that just like it's a quagmire cousin, except the fact that it doesn't go giggity giggity, it's very slow. And it's going to be moving around like the mud that it rolls around in. I'm not saying that it's bad, it's just slow. So, good luck on trying to keep this thing up with others that's trying to be as fast as it is. If you thought that some Paldean knockoffs are going to be crazy as it is, well, guess what? This one is technically not considered a knockoff, but I consider it to be a knockoff. Winklet! Okay, so at first glance, we all immediately thought this thing looked like a certain something that shouldn't be there. But then again, there are some things in Pokemon that goes well beyond that. Thanks, Pokédex entries. Well, anyway, Winklet is the water variation of our Revenge Killer from the original hit generation that everyone knows and love, except this thing actually has a little bit less use. Well, that's not entirely true, but there's something kind of interesting that really kind of makes it a little bit easier to deal with. First off, I recommend Rattled, not Gooey. Because it's just like with Diglett, this thing is a glass cannon, and Wiglet's not exactly the best one to deal with. The reason why I recommend this particular Pokemon is that it becomes a bit faster, even though that I've already called it the Revenge Killer of the water counterpart. But if you really do want it to be technical, good luck trying to find one with Sandvile, because that's going to be hard to come by. If you do manage to get one with Sandvile, have fun! Because this is going to be probably one of those interesting Pokemon that works in a few strange ways, but not so much. When it evolves into a Wugtrio at level 26, it becomes a little bit more defensive, which is good. And of course, it becomes one of the more faster versions of itself. But what's very nice is that Wugtrio gained a signature move of Triple Dive. A 30 power, 95 accuracy physical water type move that hits 3 times in a row. Essentially making this at 90 power. Do I recommend this move? Yeah! Besides, if you haven't gone for a Quaxley, this is a good choice to start off with right off the bat. But you will find some better water types later on down the road. And the only real thing that I can say to really watch out for with these guys is that even though that Wugtrio clearly looks like it should be a part rock type, it's not. It becomes a bit less of a glass cannon, but it's still considered a glass cannon. So all around, very good choice. Just be mindful that you're going to be dealing with a little bit of some hard-hitting Pokemon along the way. Ugh, I spoke a mouthful on that one. I said, yeah! There we go. So, around here, there is something that I want to show off right here. This sign right here. We have this thing. A Gimme Gold coin. Material accident dropped by a Pokemon called Gimme Gold. This thing doesn't have any purpose for us as of yet, but you may want to consider collecting these. Trust me, this will come in handy for what are we talking about later on down the road. I kind of want to catch a Shroodle so I can at least have a decent poison type for a while. But then again, that Paldean Wooper has definitely gotten ourselves a pretty good choice in it to come by. Anything by this tree? No. And these items, they're addicting. Because like I said, you'll be finding items everywhere. Looking for anything to sell? Walk around. Find anything special from a Pokemon that has pickup for the ability that you want to get rid of? Sell it. The choice is almost limitless. Alright. If you press the ZL button, you can log onto a nearby Pokemon. I kinda talked about this one before. And you keep your sights set on it. Once you're locked on, throw a Pokeball with the ZR to let you start off a battle with the Pokemon you were aiming for. So we talked to this guy. He actually has a bit of some importance for us. Hello there, I'm a Pokemon League rep. Been having some nice Pokemon battles? Well, good news. If you get to have 4 trainers here in Area 1 of the South Province, there's 11 prongs with their name on it. So far, you've defeated 6 trainers here in Area 1 of the South Province. On behalf of the Pokemon League, here's your lovely prize. Thunder Wave. You would have faced off a lot of these trainers. They will give you some pretty good stuff. We're holding a challenge for other areas around Paldea too. Stop by and try them. And he won't have anything else for us. I guess then maybe I'll go ahead and kick your ass while I'm out here. Came to Mesagoza to make some deliveries, but let's have a quick battle. Are your deliveries of those right there in your fanny packs? Iker. Iker? Florgashmere. Go for the home claws. Someone was asking me for why the heck did I choose to go for all 3 of the starters for this LP, and I just want to say, and screw you. It's my Let's Play. I do what I want. Alright. Alright, I think we've wasted enough time. Let's get the heck inside here before someone touches my ass. I mean, I'm like, what, 13 or 14 in this game? Oi! Derek! Did you battle some trainers on the hill? Bet your Pokemon are getting stronger. How about you show me how much you all have learned in a battle? Alright, nothing like having a friend in round. Come on, Derek. Let us have a fruitful battle. Please don't turn that into a catchphrase. Nemona battle numero dos. And we're already 3 episodes into this. Get used to this. Her first Pokemon will be her starter. In this case, Fuecoco. Level 8 pure fire type blades for the ability. Tackle, Leer, Ember, and Round. The other choices would have been Quaxly, level 8, pure water type, Torn for the ability, Pound Ground, Water Gun, and Work Up, or Spurgatito with level 8, grass type, Overgrowth for the ability, Scratch, Tail, Web, Leaf, Vegapide. Shut up. Alright. You really work your type matchups. I can tell you how badly you want to win. You don't say. Here we go. Alright, so now. Her last Pokemon, Palmy. Level 9, pure electric type with static for the ability with Thunder Shock, and that's it. So, remember when I said here that I was just going to get myself a Diglett? This is why. Because I am going to be the biggest tease to Nemona ever. Wow, doing even better than I expected. You're legit, Derek. Battling you is a blast. Think I'll better pull off my ace in the hole. And behold, the gimmick of Generation 9. Terrestrializing is always a solid strategy. It gives the moves of the Pokemon's type more power. Ha! Joke's on you! You can't do shit! I remember, back when I played this in a game for the first time a couple years ago, I called this one of the biggest cheats of them all. I did not come prepared, and I just barely won against her when I used Fuecoco for the first time. Oh, so now you got me paralyzed. But don't worry, we'll be talking more about this a little bit later on. And I can't believe how fast you're improving. Ah, yes. You not having any other move other than Thunder Shock with your team. Normally I would do that when I'm playing a DS game for a Pokemon game. But since I'm doing it like this, I kind of have to look all over the place. Why? It's just my own instincts, okay? Yes, yes, yes. Amazing! Look at you taking on a terrestrialized opponent and winning, no problem. Yeah, Because you don't have any other move than just Thunder Shock against a frickin' mole! Come to think of it, you can't dressage a Pokemon yet, huh? Don't worry. I'll get you taken care of. You're so good with Pokemon battles, I forget how new you are to this stuff sometimes. We just met. Now you see why I find her so annoying? Anyway, it was fun to battle you. Here, have some revives as thanks. Now, Mesagoza is awaiting him just past his gate. At last, the city where our school is. There's tons of hills and stairs and stuff in the city, so I gotta take a quick breather and then catch up with you soon. You're just gonna leave us? Welcome to the big city of Mesagoza. And I gotta say, this place is huge! This isn't a school. This is a freaking university. Alright, here I am. We finally made it, huh? This is Mesagoza, the biggest city in Paldea. It's been a big trade hub since a long time ago. Lots of folks come here to learn about advances in technology and all kinds of other stuff. It's a hair salon where you can change your look, plus places with tasty food and fixings. What do you want to see first, Eric? Normally, for a guy, it would be all about the stomach, but I'm probably just gonna go for the hair salon, because I just ate. Oh, you're a fashionista, are you? I thought fashionista is supposed to represent to describe women. Does it apply to guys as well? I don't know. Or maybe you just don't want a practical do that won't get you in the eyes when you're battling. Oh, and speaking of battling, I want to be sure you'll be able to terrestrialize your Pokemon too, Derek. There's a few things that's gotta get done for that to happen, but I'll take care of them. Meanwhile, you just have fun looking around the city a bit. There's so much to do. Grab a buy some accessories to spice up your uniform. If you want a personal recommendation, you've got to see the Delibird presents. They sell handy items for Pokemon to hold. Once you've seen your fill, you can meet up again in front of the school. Just be ready. The stairs up to school are no joke. Later then, get pumped up for some terrestrializing. Dude, that's not gonna get hair in my eyes. Did you not see my hairstyle? You know, for someone who's the president of the student council, who's probably supposed to be one of the smartest students in the school, you're kind of dumb. Don't worry, more of that's gonna be shown later. So we got some restaurants around here that helped out with some of that food power that we briefly talked about from yesterday, or I guess a couple days ago because of the recording, but from the last episode, that's what I meant. And I believe you are just... Let's take a look inside this one. Sure cans. Our can-do attitude is sure to leave you smiling. This right here. You might want to stock up on some of these. No, I don't want 69 strawberries. That's just going a little too far. The reason for why you might want to collect some of those is because that there is a gimmick in here that might actually can help you out with what is to come. At least later on down the road, that is. Kind of curious. Was there something in here that I wanted to get rid of? Okay, maybe I was supposed to get something else. Okay. You are not a shop. You are not a shop. You know that you clearly look like one. Let's see here. There's a coffee shop. There's a lot of coffee shops around here. I guess this place really must be serving up a lot of that delicious coffee around here. There's another cafe and restaurant. You. Change your supplies. Battle items and bitter items. I do not recommend any of these. Bitter items are make it so that it can help out as like an alternative version of like potions, super potions, and even full restores, but at a cost of happiness. Welcome to Rough and Tough. So they sell gloves, hats, and eyeglasses. Let's see here. Ooh, that's a good look. I'm normally someone who doesn't really like using other accessories, but there are a few exceptions that we'll be seeing a little bit later on. And screw you, hats. They're mittens. Those are actually kind of cute. All right. Now, I believe that there is somewhere around here where I actually do want to pay a little visit to. You. Zapila's Footwear. They sell nothing but sneakers. There is one in particular that I do want to get. I think it's this kind. No. Performance sneakers. Yes, this is it. I'm gonna check the other ones just in case. All right. And I don't need hats. There was also a location somewhere around here. And it's usually one of those hard locations for us to remember where they're at. We have a barber shop right here. Got some backpacks right here. These look like incense, but there we go. Picnic knacks. Nothing of interest in there. Let me go back this way real quick. Oh, you know what? Hold on. I think I know where it is. We want to come this way. Yes! Delibird present. Never would have thought that one of the worst Pokemon ever will have a shop that's centered around it. We got battle items, general goods, Pokeballs, and Rotom cases. Unfortunately, I was a fool to do a lot of shopping from those items from before. But you might want to consider remembering this place. Because by the time when we start really getting into our adventure, there's going to be some items that you want to have here on hand. And of course, since the ability shield is the most expensive thing that we can find out here, we're not going to be using much of it for quite some time. But you might want to come back and check up on these every now and then. You know, at first I immediately thought today that Combi was trying to sting that guy's head off. So, this place is almost like a reflection into what Mesagoza is like on the east side of the city. But not by much. Not by much. So coming over to this side, have a bit of a more narrowly looking location. But a majority of this is practically the same. Let's see here. We have another. Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that was another delivered present, but that's a sandwich shop. Aha! There is another deli present from right over there. Anything up here? No, doesn't look like it. All right. What is this? Just want to give it a quick splash. Alright. Let's see. What is this? Ooh, a Soothe Bell. A held item that makes the Pokemon become more friendly if it's just holding it. You have a Pokemon head that levels up through happiness? There you go. Let's see here. This is the East Gate. Gonna worry about that a little later. I think the only other thing that we could do right now is just head on over to Ouya Academy. Oh. Don't you get it? If you join Team Star, you can shine as bright as anybody. Seriously, what's with you? Don't you want to burn bright with awesome friends like us? Not really. Look, We've got a quota and we're supposed to fill for new members. So just sign up already. I'd rather not. Huh? You want in on this too? If you're here to sign up, we'll get to you next. We've nearly got this one in the bag. We're Team Star, kid. We burn so bright it hurts to look at us. But you knew that, right? No. Ugh! Another ignorant little nobody! Why does she look like she just either really needs to go to the bathroom or she's planning on running in a marathon? Here I'm finally part of Team Star and still I get no respect? I gotta work my way up the ranks! Hey, we can't just let something like this slide! The honor of our team's on the line, so we've got no real choice but to battle, yeah? That's true. You keep watching that little four-eye of his over there. I'll make sure this fresh face nobody ends up seeing stars. So, we have our first fight with some Team Star grunts. The big bad hit of this particular generation. And something tells me that this guy or gal has this one might be with Poison Touch. How come I'm the one seeing stars? Ugh! What a nobody like you so good at battling anyway? That's just not right. No way! He beat you? Does that mean I gotta battle this cat now since I'm higher up Team Star's ranks? Bear Bueno! What do you think you're doing? Ugh! It's that student council dweeb! She can report us if we don't book it! I can't believe you, Derek! You don't have to go find randos to battle. You have all the battles you'll ever need with me! That's not really not what happened. Wait, they picked a fight with you? Wow, I read that way wrong. Sorry. I get it now. You two have got Team Star written all over you for sure. I bet you are trying to pressure people into signing up again, aren't you? Hi. We were not doing that. Well, that explains it. As head of student council, stopping this type of nonsense would normally be my job. But this is also the perfect chance for you to try my amazing and ultra rare gift to you. We obtained the Terra Orb. An orb that holds within the power to crystallize. When it changes in charge with energy, it can be used to cause Pokemon to terrestrialize. We'll get more on that later. With the Terra Orb, you can terrestrialize your Pokemon during battle. Let's see. After it terrestrializes, I'm pretty sure your Quaxly will be a water type. Normally, you gotta take special classes to be able to get one of these Terra Orbs, but I put in a good word for you. Now, time to give it a whirl. You'll learn to use it faster and better than if I just explain it to you. Wait, what? You want this kid to practice wailing on us with his Terra Pokemon? Is that it? Got a problem? You want to battle me instead? Never mind. I'll take my chances with the new kid. Now, to take your places in battle! Here in the Paldea region, Pokemon can crystallize into a strange phenomenon. The people call it terrestrializing. You can terrestrialize your Pokemon by selecting the terrestrialize button in battle. When a Pokemon terrestrializes, its type changes to its Terra type. Moves of the same type as its Terra type will become much more powerful than usual. After terrestrializing a Pokemon once, you won't be able to terrestrialize a Pokemon again until you heal up at a Pokemon Center. So use the strategy wisely to seize victory in battles. I should point out that it can only be used once per battle. So, with terrestrialize, notice that how the water type Signia is becoming more and more active. This thing does a sheer ton more damage than before. This new one takes in the same type attack bonus of 1.5 times to double that power. This thing's gonna hurt, especially if you use it in the correct situations. And you want to learn Aqua Jet? Okay. Yeah, we'll get rid of Growl. You want to learn Hypnosis? You know what? Why not? Even though I'm not going to be using you much on this team. And Romeo wants to learn Magical Leaf. Am I ever going to finish up with this? Eventually. That's special power. I might as well, because it's a non-miss move. Your Pokemon burns so bright! Well, thank you. Nice, Derek. You put up terrestrializing, no problem. Boost your Pokemon Terra type will hit even harder when it's terrestrialized, you know? Sometimes you find a Pokemon whose Terra type is totally different from its usual type. Depth difference can open up your strategic options. Gotta charge a Terra about a Pokemon Center after every use by healing up your team, though. Well, I'll be on my merry way then, yeah? Hasta la vista! Me too! Hasta la vista! So yeah, Team Star is basically a group of students that like to kick up trouble. Hardly ever show up to class, and when they get together in groups, they're a real headache. Even the teachers don't know what to deal with them, from what I hear. Excuse me. I just, well, thanks. So yeah, see you around. Oh, look at that, Derek! Already becoming a big hero around campus. I don't think I've seen that girl around. Maybe she's a new transfer, like you. Hey, Eevee bag though. Love that fluff! Anyway, seems like the troubles died down, so we better book it into school. Give it a climb the worst staircase in the world. Oh my god! So many stairs! I'd like to find out who invented the stairs and push him down these stairs. And every single bone in his body will be broken. It'll be ironic. And then his wife will leave him and go and be with the man who invented the elevator. Because elevators are much more sexier than stairs. And oh my god, I'm not even close to getting to the top of this. Why are there so many stairs? Sorry, little Karibo. Love your content! can use the B button to crouch. When you're crouched down low in tall grass, you'll become harder for wild Pokemon to notice you. If you get close enough to a Pokemon without it noticing you and throw a Pokeball using the ZR button, you can catch it off guard. You'll be able to act first in the battle, giving you a nice advantage. Something we might think about learning for something later on down the road. Alright. So. You know, this kind of begs the question, why are there no ramps? Did they just not admit those that are physically disabled? Because if so, that's discrimination! But I think it shouldn't matter that much. Because now that we finally reached school, we're going to end things off right here. Next time on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, we are finally going to enter Ouya Academy and see what we can do in there for the time being. And hope we find out more for what our next objective is going to be. See you guys then!